Hello, everyone. Welcome to Donu's World and to Kick-Ass and Wellness Wednesday. Well. Today I'm with my sister Leila, and we are in our hometown, Port Harcourt, on the southern coast of Nigeria. My sister flew in from London, I flew in from Abuja, and it's happy families. Now, as you know, Wellness Wednesday, Kick-Ass Wednesday, call it what you will, is all about self improvement around mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, fashion, beauty, anything to do with improving the individual, i.e., me. Okay? So I thought, well, she's really reluctant to do this, but I forced her because we're not together that often. And so what I thought we'd talk about today is the fact that I have failed spectacularly for a long time to lose weight I gained after I was kidnapped and was put on medication that my made me fat. Basically, I was on the medication for 3 years, and I've never faced up to the challenge of losing that weight. I mean, I've lost 10 kilos here, even 15, but it always comes back on, or I just stop before I get to where I need to be. And I'll be honest with you, I actually need to lose about 50 or 60 kilos. And don't say, oh, no, 10 or 20 kilos will do. Because I've looked at the medical charts and even my doctor agrees with me. Okay? So, why I would like my sister to comment is because she has her views about why I have failed, and I would like her to share them with you. Because some of the things that I do wrong, other people do wrong, and we can all learn from each other's mistakes. Take it away.
You could have told me beforehand that that's what I was going to talk about. I have no idea what you think my views are on why you failed. I don't know why you failed.
Told me.
What have I said?
You said I'm a lazy couch potato.
I don't think that's the underlying reason, to be honest. I think it's a fact that you don't walk enough, you don't exercise. If you can avoid walking, you do. But then again, it's a cycle, isn't it? So the fatter you get, the less you walk, the fatter you get, and so it continues. So I think there's that. I think you have too many staff. That's one of the challenges of Nigeria. I think staff, quite unnecessary. I think most of the time. But then what I was saying to you is that why don't you in your house in Abuja? Every time you want a drink or a cup of tea, you go and get it yourself. Walk down the stairs, get whatever you want from the fridge, walk back up. You'll be surprised what difference that makes. And if you never, ever get up from your chair to go and get something from the fridge, and days, weeks pass, and you may not have moved, then of course it's an issue.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Nigerians, especially women, middle-aged women and older women, are famous for never doing themselves what somebody else can do for them, what a younger person can do. So we have this sort of famous joke in Nigeria whereby you've got your mother or your aunt or grandma or whatever calls you. So she calls you or the maid or somebody younger and more agile, and she goes, Donu, and you're on the other side of the house, and you come running wearily, and then she says, pass me that Coke. And literally the Coke is like a couple of feet away in the fridge, in the same room where she is. But rather than get up and open the fridge and get the thing for herself, so I'm a bit like that. I've fallen into that habit of asking other people to do for me what I can do for myself. And I guess that every little movement counts.
Yep. They're not even that little. So just going up and down the stairs 5 times in a day would make a difference, for example. But also I think also you don't realize what a negative impact that being really significantly overweight has on your mental health.
Oh, I do.
And then it becomes another cycle. So your mental health suffers, and because your mental health suffers, you eat more and move less, and then your mental health suffers even more, and then you feel angry with yourself and so on. So the question really is, how do you break that cycle? You have to kind of break the cycle so that because the more you move, the more you're happier you are. it sounds weird to say, but that is actually true.
Well, I think, kind of anybody who's done any reading or TV watching around health issues should have heard of endorphins, which are hormones that are generated by exercise. And you actually get a high. You just get this sense of satisfaction when you go on a bike in the gym for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or go for a brisk walk, or even just a stroll in the fresh air. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that you get, you just moving, and sometimes the last thing you want to do, and then you do it, and you feel so much better. If you walk, you think, okay, yesterday, I mean, walking in Nigeria is not all parts of Nigeria, some parts are, but not all parts are designed for walking. Yes,
no parts are designed for walking. I've never seen a pavement.
When I went to try and get my new SIM, of which that's a whole other saga, I thought to myself, I'm going to walk from where I am to Garrison, it's not that long, maybe a 10-minute walk, just because I thought I would have been here and not moved and walked anywhere. I walk up the drive, which you don't. So I don't never get the taxi to take me to the door. I always get them to drop me at the gate and pick me at the gate so I can walk up the drive. But that's not enough. You don't. They have to come to your foot. In fact, if you can get them to enter your trouser, you then you know. And it's like they have to stop right. You don't want to move an inch. So, but forcing yourself to like build in some walking. So I just thought, you know what? There's a bit of pavement. There isn't everywhere. Why not walk to Garrison? That'll give you a bit of, and I felt better when I arrived back home. If I hadn't been on my own, so last time when your friend Dotun stayed, we walked all the way from here. It's not that far, but it's a 40-minute walk or something. Walk from here past Garrison to where we were going.
It's too hot.
And felt better for it. But I thought to myself, I'm on my own. I don't know, I didn't feel 100% safe to just walk. But yeah, just walk to the drive. Don't let the cab come in. Walk to the drive, down the drive. It's about a 50-yard walk or something, maybe 100 yards at the most.
Okay, so I am aware that I need to move more, and again, all the health experts say it's not enough to just do an hour in the gym every morning. You're supposed to move all day. The human body was designed to move. As someone said, there's a reason why the legs are like so long compared to the rest of the body. They're meant to be used. And
also, your natural frame is thin, is small. Yeah. So that's why you have knee problems and everything else, because you're not built. Some people are built big. They have big bones, big joints and so on. But you don't. Your natural frame is small. And then we talk about eating. I mean, you can eat all day. No, stop. So that's the other thing. Eating. You do eat quite healthily, to be fair. You tend to eat vegetables and what's it called? Protein, i.e. meat and fish, plenty of it, and vegetables, and not as much starch, although you eat a lot of sugar. So again, just...
My main vice is sugar. I'm a sugar addict.
So again, the equation is simple. If you don't burn more than you consume, you'll be fat. Generally. Some people have a natural burning metabolism.
I used to. I mean, this is the thing that I find so painful, and one of the reasons I do have a problem coming to terms with reality. Okay, so especially when reality changes from one thing to another. So I grew up till I was about 55, or till I was about nearly 60. I was the sort of person who, honestly, I'm not kidding you, I could have 4 slices of cheesecake a day and 3 or 4 meals, and wouldn't put on an ounce. My favorite drink was whiskey and Coke, or brandy and lemonade. Not an ounce, all that sugar. Didn't make 3 sugars in every cup of coffee. So it came as a complete shock to me. Well, partly maybe because of age, partly maybe because of giving up smoking, and partly, I think largely, because I was put on very strong sedating medication after the kidnapping, because I was having hallucinations, and that medication really messed with my metabolism. So my problem is that I have not been able to come to terms with the fact that I'm no longer somebody who can eat, drink, and guzzle as much sugar as she likes. And so, I mean,
it is a shock, actually.
It is taking me too long to come to terms with that shock.
For most of us, women and certainly men possibly as well, it's a shock when you reach a certain age and all the food you should just eat anything and you'll still be slim, and you find that it doesn't come off and you start getting fatter. It is a shock and it's actually quite traumatic. And you're right. You have to just come to terms with it, you know.
And you have to start. And let's be fair, there are people who suffered a lot more. I mean, there are people who've had bad metabolisms even when they were children.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
And so, you know, when I complain and such people are around me, they go, oh, boo, hoo, hoo. So you finally discover at the age of 58, well, I've been suffering since all my life. Because there are people who've never been able to have 4 slices of cheesecake and not blow up. So, you know, it's that thing also about thanking God or whatever higher power you believe in for the advantages, seeing the cup as half full rather than half empty. So I should really be saying, well, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to eat what I wanted for 58 years and still be as slim as a supermodel, instead of, oh, you know, kind of, oh, how dare you take away my metabolism at the age of 58.
What are the things are what are the options for you now? Really, that's the question. So things like there's therapy, obviously, as an option, because you need to now, at this stage, there's a mindset shift that's needed, and it's not easy. Most people can't then break the cycle. So what do you want to do?
I am working with a fasting coach, a very nice woman called Rue, who lives in Tennessee in the States. We talk quite often. She is having an impact. It's slow, but you know, it's working to some extent. I also am taking your advice. I'm thinking very seriously about
taking my advice rather than taking it.
No. What I'm saying is that I am increasingly of the view that if you're getting older and you're not tackling your weight problem quickly enough, you may need to combine stuff like intermittent fasting or extended fasting with one of these weight loss injections. Okay? I think I'm going to do a separate show on that. But I do think there's a lot of people sitting around thinking, oh God, should I try Mounjaro or Ozempic or whatever the other ones are called? I should just eat less and move more. And you know, there's no need for injections. They're expensive. There are side effects for some people. But you know what? I'm beginning to think, if you're getting older and your own personal discipline meter isn't very strong, take the injections.
Yeah. And there's a saying, let not the best be the enemy of the good. And sometimes you think, yes, it'd be great if you could lose weight by eating less, walking and moving more and exercising and so on. But if you can't, it is better to do something that is good enough rather than going for the best, which is no medication, do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's precisely because I've been trying to do it the right way, the perfect way for so long.
Yeah.
That, you know, kind of, to be honest with you, I simply haven't made enough progress.
That is the basic
And, you know, problem. Sometimes in life, you know, I've got a tip which we should follow up on at a later date. Okay, so you're so right. I mean, you know, I think people probably need, and this is something we can talk about again in future, to list their strengths and list every weakness one by one. And then, you know, be proud of the strengths and thank whoever and whatever for your strengths, and forgive yourself for your weaknesses. Because, I mean, I am very good at writing, I'm very good at making friends, I'm very well organized, efficient by nature, very good. I'm very domesticated. I keep a very lovely home wherever I live. And, but you know, I have got quite a few weaknesses as well. And the thing is to say, you know what? Nobody's perfect. So why don't I just, instead of constantly beating myself up because I may not be so good at, well, I'm not good at all at controlling my food intake when I am depressed, and I am depressed a lot of the time, I should take delight in what I am good at, and then use whatever crutches you need to use to soften or eliminate your weaknesses. So that's really my advice to myself and to anybody else who's out there who's thinking, oh my Lord, why can't I just, you know, go jogging every morning and sort of have half an egg white for breakfast, or whatever it is you need to do to to keep slim.
Yeah, I think that that advice of forgive yourself for weaknesses and whatever is so important to move forward. Absolutely, really key for health and fitness and a good life for sure.
Okay, so we'll talk more about each of these topics over time, but I just wanted to, thank my sister for joining the discussion about the little ways in which we can make ourselves better, and say I hope that most of you all of you, will tune into the show on Friday. So
Okay.
that's all for today.
All right. Bye.